It's Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. Your iPhone alarm goes off for the third time. You roll out of bed, grab your phone, and there are already 17 notifications waiting. 3 urgent work emails, a text from your mum asking if you can stop by her house this weekend, your son's soccer team coordinator sending you a spreadsheet of volunteer schedules, your neighbor wants to know if you can pick up a package, your boss has sent you an invite to a 7 a.m. meeting. You haven't even brushed your teeth yet, and you've already said yes to 5 different things. Does this sound familiar? Of course it does, because you live in a country where busy has become synonymous with successful, where the question, "How are you?" is automatically answered with, "Oh, super busy," as if it were a badge of honor, where a packed calendar is proof that you matter, that you are indispensable, that you are living the American dream. But here's the truth that no one wants to admit. You're not living the American dream. You're living the American nightmare, the one where you're running from meeting to meeting, from appointment to appointment, always feeling like you're late for something important, where you come home exhausted, look at your family and think, "I should be happy. I should be fulfilled. Why do I feel so empty?" The answer is simpler than you think, and more radical than you want to accept. The problem isn't that you don't have enough time. The problem is that you've never learned the most powerful word in the human vocabulary, a 2-letter word that can completely transform your life, a word that can give you back control of your schedule, your relationships, your energy, and your happiness. That word is no. What if I told you that learning how to use it correctly could be the difference between a life of constant rush and a life of real purpose? Between burning yourself out trying to please everyone and finally becoming the person you always wanted to be? Let's take a trip back in time. 200,000 years ago, you were living in a small tribe in the middle of the African savannah. Your survival depended entirely on being accepted by the group. If the tribe rejected you, you died. Not from sadness or depression. You literally died. Lions, hunger, cold, game over. So your brain developed an ultra-sensitive alarm system for any sign of rejection. Whenever someone frowned at you, whenever your opinion was challenged, whenever you were excluded from a conversation, alarms went off in your brain, as if your life was in danger. Because she was. But here we are in 2025, and that same primitive system is still running in your brain like outdated software. When your boss seems annoyed with you, when your mother-in-law makes that sarcastic comment, when you're not invited to the company happy hour, the same amygdala that protected your ancestors from lions now panics over a WhatsApp group chat. Dr. Matthew Lieberman, a neuroscientist at UCLA, has discovered something fascinating. When we are socially rejected, the same areas of the brain that process physical pain become active. Literally, rejection feels like a punch in the gut. This isn't drama. This is neuroscience. And here's the plot twist. You live in a culture that has turned it into a 24/7 anxiety machine. Instagram constantly shows you people who seem happier than you. LinkedIn bombards you with other people's achievements. Your entire neighborhood seems to have greener lawns, newer cars, more successful kids. So you compensate. You say yes to everything. You work more hours. You volunteer for more projects. You accept more invitations. Because somewhere in your primitive mind, you still believe that saying yes keeps you safe in the tribe. But this strategy that was supposed to protect you is now destroying you from the inside. Let me paint a scene that probably happened to you last week. You're at Starbucks, finally taking some time for yourself. Phone on silent, laptop open. That personal project you've been putting off for months finally getting some attention. You're in the flow, you know. That state where everything makes sense and you remember why you chose your profession. Then, your phone buzzes. It's a text from your coworker. "Hey, can you cover my presentation on Thursday? My mother-in-law is in town." Your fingers are already typing, "Sure, no problem," before your brain can even process what it means. On Thursday, you had planned to leave early to go to your son's baseball game. You've already missed the last 3. You promised him you'd be there this time, but you press send anyway. Or how about this? It's Sunday morning, and you finally have time to read that book that's been sitting on your nightstand for 4 months. Then the phone rings. It's your sister. Can you help me assemble the IKEA furniture? It'll be quick, I promise. 3 hours later, you have a sore back, you're irritable, and your Sunday off has turned into an episode of Extreme Home Makeover that you didn't sign up to be on. Here's what happens. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you're making a terrible transaction. You're trading a piece of your life, a piece of your time, a piece of your energy, for a few seconds of temporary approval. It's like paying with a credit card without looking at the bill. It seems painless at the time, but the compounding interest from that addictive approval is draining your emotional bank account until you're broke inside. And worst of all, the people you want to please so much don't even realize the sacrifice you're making. To them, you're just that person who always says yes. Reliable, predictable, available. You've become the guy everyone calls when they need something, but no one thinks to invite when they want to have fun. But what if I told you there was a way out of this trap? What if I showed you exactly how normal people like you transform their lives by simply changing one word? I met Sarah 2 years ago, a mother of 2 in Denver. She was the definition of a supermom. She volunteered for the PTA, organized the school bake sale, was the assistant coach for the soccer team, coordinated the carpool, and worked part-time as a graphic designer. Her calendar read like a presidential campaign itinerary until the day she fainted during a school assembly. Stress, exhaustion, high blood pressure. The doctor was blunt. "Sarah, your body is crying out for help." It was there that she learned something revolutionary. She created what she calls Values GPS, a simple system that works like the ways of your personal life. First step, she listed her 3 core values: family, creativity, and health. Just 3. Not 5, not 10. 3. Like those tech companies that have well-defined core values and don't negotiate with them. Step 2. Before saying yes to any request, she asks herself a simple question. Does this align with my 3 values, or is it taking me away from them? If the answer is away, the answer is no. No exceptions, no elaborate justifications, no blame. Mike, a financial analyst from Chicago, had a different problem but the same root cause. He could never say no to extra projects at work. The result? Burnout at age 28 and a destroyed relationship. His strategy was to create scripts. Yes, scripts like the ones call centers use, but to protect his personal life. I'd love to help, but I'm already tied up with other projects this week. Can I help you next week? Or sounds like an interesting project. Let me check my calendar and get back to you tomorrow. This get back to you tomorrow is magical. It gives your rational brain time to take over and take your amygdala out of the driver's seat. The truth is that when you start saying no to the wrong things, you automatically make room to say yes to the right things, and the people around you start to respect your time more precisely because you show that it has value. Here's the truth. No one told you. Your no isn't selfishness. It's protection. It's not closure, it's curation. Think of it this way: you are the CEO of your own life, and every successful CEO knows that the difference between a company that fails and one that thrives isn't what they say yes to. It's what they have the courage to say no to. Steve Jobs put it perfectly. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things, because when you say no to 1,000 distractions, you have energy and focus left over for the one thing that really matters. Your life works exactly the same way. When you say no to that forced happy hour with people who drain your energy, you say yes to a night at home reading to your kids. When you say no to yet another project that's taking you nowhere, you say yes to that side business that could change your future. When you say no to that unnecessary meeting, you say yes to that walk your body and mind are begging for. Your no is the guardian of your most important yes. And here's what's going to happen when you start doing this. At first, some people are going to be uncomfortable. They're going to test you. They're going to try to make you feel guilty. That's normal. They've gotten used to the old version of you, the one that was always available. But within a few weeks, something magical happens. People start to value your time more. Your yeses become more precious. Your presence becomes more meaningful. You stop being that person who is everywhere doing a little bit of everything and become that person who, when they show up, really makes a difference. So, what will it be? Will you continue to be a slave to other people's approval, or will you take control of your own life? The choice is yours. And it starts with a two-letter word.